So when you start doing this, you're going to put yourself ahead of 95% of the population, because most people just show up without any kind of a game plan, without any kind of clue as to how to get to where they want to be. So using this one strategy can literally help you transform any area of your life that you want to transform. I mean, isn't it amazing how 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years can just whoosh by in the blink of an eye, and we end up asking ourselves, how did I get here? What happened? And most importantly, what's next? Everybody starts off with the best of intentions, hopes, dreams, and expectations for the future. But for most people, unfortunately, things just don't turn out the way that they hoped they would. Why don't they? Well, habits, rituals, and routines. Over the years, we've created these rituals, habits, and routines that keep our lives safe, predictable, and pretty unfulfilling, if you ask me. So we know that there's so much more for us than we're experiencing in our lives, but, we feel like we're doing everything that we can be doing, but something's missing, something's just not happening. And we always ask ourselves the same question: where did we go wrong? What did we miss? What am I missing? In fact, nothing's wrong. The life that you're living right now has been created not intentionally, but by default. And what I mean is that you have not intentionally set out to create the outcomes that you've wanted in your life. So life just showed up and said, hey, listen, I don't know what you want, so I'm going to give you what I think that you want. And you've been fine to go along with it, because once again, the habits, routines, and rituals that you have created have helped to maintain that momentum. Now, I know that may sound kind of harsh, but the reality is this. If this life right here that you created unintentionally and by default, and it's not that bad a life, you have to admit, you got to be grateful. But if this is the life that you created by default, just imagine the life that you could create if you intentionally set out to create your life. I mean, what kind of life could you create? Simple answer: any kind of life that you want. You see, the key is that you have to be very intentional, almost meticulous about the way that you design the life that you really want. So, for simplicity's sake, intentionality consists of 3 areas. First, having a vision for your life. Next, having constructive and empowering habits in your life. And third, making a commitment to yourself to journal on a regular basis. So let's start with a vision for your life. The reason a vision for your life is so important, in fact vital, is that if you cannot see where you want your life to go, where you want your life to be, the things that you want to experience in your life, then there is no way that you can get there. If you can't see where you're going, it's a 100% guarantee you're not going to get there. Now, the Bible puts it this way in the book of Proverbs: without a vision, the people perish. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to take a day, you're going to sit down by yourself with a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, and you're going to start writing. What are you going to write? You're going to start writing the most exciting things that could happen to you over the next 5 years. So when you start doing this, you're going to put yourself ahead of 95% of the population, because most people just show up without any kind of a game plan, without any kind of clue as to how to get to where they want to be. So here's where you're going to start to get excited, because you're going to start feeling your vision slowly start taking shape. Now, here's where you're going to really have to put some thought into what it is that you really want in your life. Where do you want to live? How do you want to live? What kind of friends do you want to have in your life? What kind of relationships do you want to have in your life? Do you want to travel? Do you want to golf? These things are the things that you really need to consider. You see, these things require a certain intentionality. You can't just leave your life up to chance. You see, not only will the vision for your life start taking shape, but the steps that you have to take, the necessary steps that you must take, will start to reveal themselves to you. That's when it starts to get really exciting, my friend. You see, the vision for your life is based on what you want, not based on what somebody else thinks is best for you, or not based on what somebody else says that you should do, but only on you. Isn't that exciting? Now, once you have finished writing about these exciting things that are going to happen to you over the next 5 years, I mean, these really exciting outcomes that you're going to experience in your life over the next 5 years, you're going to keep a copy of these things somewhere where you can see them first thing in the morning when you wake up and late at night, right before you go to bed, because you're going to look at these things, you're going to visualize them, you're going to feel what it feels like to actually be experiencing these things right now when you wake up in the morning and right before you go to bed at night. That's one of the major secrets that most coaches don't talk about. You see, visualization is a very strong part of manifestation, but it's not manifestation. The only way that you can really get into creating the things in life that you want is by feeling. It's feeling these things. If you cannot feel what it is that you expect, then you're just putting empty hopes and dreams out there. So I'll talk about that in another episode. Now, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to take a separate sheet of paper, or maybe even two, and you're going to start writing down the habits that you need to change, the habits that you need to remove from your life and replace. You see, the thing here, the goal here, the key here is to replace habits that are not serving you with the constructive and empowering habits that do serve you, that do help you to get to where you're going. And then as you're continuing to practice these habits on a regular basis, they become normal. They become a part of you. Hence the word habit. Now, don't worry so much about the process of how are you going to change these habits or how you're going to replace these habits. That's not so important right now. The important thing is that you do go ahead and write down these habits that you need to change. Now, if you visit a link in my bio to my website, there is a free ebook on there called How to Replace Habits or Bad Habits with Empowering Habits. It's a free ebook, and you can get that. That'll help you out. So don't worry about that for right now. Now, last but certainly not least, is probably one of the most important things in this entire video that I'm going to talk to you about. And that is committing to the habit of journaling on a regular basis. Why do I say journaling? Well, journaling is very, very important because you're able to take a look back in time and to see where you have come from. You're able to see what it is that you've been working on, and you're able to see where it is that you've gotten off track and correct your progress. It's kind of like a guided missile. You see, the only way that a guided missile hits its target is that when it gets off track, an alarm goes off and it tells it that it's too far to the right, too far to the left, and it straightens it out. That's what you're like. We are like goal-seeking mechanisms, and we need something to correct our course, our trajectory when we get off track. Hence, a journal. So every morning in your journal, you can write what it is that you intend for the day, your intentions. Every evening before you go to bed, of course, and yeah, there's a lot to do before you go to bed, but it's worth it. Every evening before you go to bed, you can take a look at your day. You can look back over your day and audit your day. And you can see where you did good, where you got off course. And guess what? Don't get upset. Don't get mad. Just correct your course. That's the beauty of writing a journal. It's your roadmap. So write your journal down and let that journal guide you. Let that journal guide you because it's one of the most powerful tools that you do have at your disposal. Now, my journals go back for years, and I don't mind telling you that my journals paint the picture for you of a man who was broken, and severely addicted to drugs and alcohol. Yeah, they paint a picture of my fall from grace. But at the same time, those journals, they paint a picture of a man who did not give up, learned to lean on a power greater than himself, and a man who rose from the ashes, from the dust, in order that he may help thousands of other people to get up and have hope that they could do the same. Nowhere near finished, just getting started. But I'm excited because without those journals, I don't have the wherewithal to remember everything that I went through, every tear, every toughness, every heart-wrenching situation where I wanted to give up. You see, the reality now is that I can look in somebody's eyes and know exactly where they are. They don't have to say a word. And I know when they look at me and they say, you don't understand, that they don't understand who it is that they're talking to. You see, I say that to tell you this. The things that you go through along the way on your journey in life to creating the life that you really want, the things, the tough times that you go through, they're not for you. Stop thinking about you. They're not for you. They are for the people that come behind us so that we can show them how to get over that stuff. That's why we build those muscles. That's why we build the resiliency. That's why we're so blessed to overcome the things that would knock most people down. You see, you're a winner. So this is how you win. So where I am right now in my life is a very, very good place. But I gotta tell you this, I'm not where I wanna be, but I'm sure not where I used to be. And none of this will be possible without this life transformative skill, without this life transforming skill that I've been leading up to. And that skill is called scripting. That's all I've been talking about in this entire video. Scripting your life. Scripting your life. You see, that's how you manage to squeeze the juice out of the orange. That's how you manage to make lemonade out of lemons. You see, because you cannot have a good or successful play or a successful movie. You can't have a successful football game without a plan, without a script. Because if you know what you have scripted, you know the outcome that you're looking for. So don't leave anything up to chance. Let's get into scripting, and I'll do another episode on that specifically, because scripting is such a beautiful thing. And when you start doing it, your self-confidence rises. But more than that, your self-worth just blossoms, because self-worth is the foundation that your self-confidence builds up on. Don't forget that. Jamie Kern-Lima said that in her book, Worthy. And you definitely want to get that book. As a matter of fact, again, in my link in the description to my website, you can find her book on my site. So comment below about something that's really exciting that you would like to happen in your life over the next 5 years. And if you'd like to hear more about life scripting and how you can intentionally design the life that you really, really want, tune in to the next episode. Now, if this video has given you any value, please don't forget to like and share with your friends. And also, please subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can be notified when the next episode comes up, so I can continue to bring to you these life-transforming principles and videos free of charge. I'll see you in the next video.